Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula bore formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Do you think that worked, Gina Ricci? How the heck are you?
I am amazing. Thank you, Sean Callaghy. What the heck are we doing here?
We're playing the superpower of human integrous influence, which affects our marketing, our selling, our managing, our leading, our fundraising for profit, and maybe even not for profit, as we are in the astounding presence of something extraordinary that happened this past weekend, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But it couldn't be more thankful for these folks being here. And it may sound hyperbolic, it may sound a little over-energized, but what's present is the massive differential of what human beings create. Like, how the heck does Elon Musk get to a point where he's worth $200 billion? How does Oprah Winfrey, by the way, happy Juneteenth, how does Oprah Winfrey come to a place where she's a multi-billionaire, worth $2.6 billion, overcoming every statistical dynamic you could imagine? The abuse, teen pregnancy, racial discrimination, gender bias, all of it. And how do other folks who seem equally hardworking, intelligent, amazing struggle? Well, the superpower of integrous influence, what you do with it, how you get yourself to use it, and we gamify it and have fun. We could be having dinner at a beautiful restaurant. We're not. We're virtual, connecting in a gamified fashion of playing with the superpower of influence and have a partner in this beautiful mission. And not only you, Gina Ricci, but this woman started selling crafts on her front lawn at 8 years old, became a top income earner in the space of network marketing, progressed to become the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada at 24 years young, and was the first woman ever to do it and youngest person ever to do it. 2019, every teen she worked with in sales doubled, and she speaks on stages all over the place, helps co-create magic in all sorts of rooms, the co-host of Real Raw, doing magic in the space of integrous influence, and chief alchemist, the one, the only, Bella Verita. Let's hear for Bella. Belle, what's happening?
I think, what's happening, or do you want a fun fact?
I would love a fun fact.
Okay. So my fun fact, Sean Callaghy, is I got to stand on a stage, because I might be a rule breaker, right? And so this weekend, I got to stand on a stage with about 150 other people breaking all kind of fire laws because Sean Rose, I think that's the right word, $2.6 million in a room on Saturday, and everybody got to come on stage that contributed. So I got to stand on a stage and break all kinds of fire rules because we raised $2.6 million for the efforts in Ukraine to take refugees supplies in Ukraine. So I think that's pretty fun. I got to be a part of raising money, and I got to break rules.
You are a rule breaker. It was an honor and a privilege doing Chris Crone's incredible event, having the privilege of being the person on the microphone causing that with other extraordinary human beings in the crowd, of course. Gina, who is in this crowd, because these are extraordinary people of integrity as well, ready to have some fun. So who's here, Gina?
First up, from Bedminster, New Jersey, she is the co-chair legal marketing of the Legal Marketing Association.
Easy for you to say.
I guess not. Apparently, my words are getting jumbled. The president of the New Jersey Legal Industry Providers and owner of Focus Works Marketing. She's a marketing genius. Please, everyone, let's welcome Amanda Sexton to The Real Raw.
Hello, Amanda, and welcome.
Oh, I think she might be frozen.
Frozen. Yep, she got frozen.
All right, we'll get back to Amanda in a moment. Gina, who else is here with Amanda?
Rolling from Cedar Knolls, New Jersey. She's the director of advertising and sponsorship sales at ROI, a business media company. She's a board member at the Association for Corporate Growth, and in that is assisting businesses all throughout New Jersey because she's also a super connector. Please, everyone, let's welcome Liz Dwyer to The Real Raw.
Liz, welcome, and all of your super connectedness is fully felt and present.
Thank you.
Thank you. And what is your fun fact?
Let's see. Well, my fun fact is that I collect Mickey Mouse memorabilia like crazy. And also another fun fact is that Tiny Tim and his girlfriend Vicky came to a family picnic when I was a child and gave me a tiptoe through the tulips game.
Oh my God, this is so awesome. Tiny Tim, some may not know who that is a very famous TV personality from back in the day. And what is your favorite piece of Mickey Mouse memorabilia and why, please, Liz?
It's probably a Mickey Mouse gingerbread Christmas ornament that I have because I also collect gingerbread. So to have both of them together, Mickey and a gingerbread, that's probably my favorite piece.
Beautiful. Well, love it. And thank you so much for being here. And we'll talk super connectedness in a little bit. Thank you, Liz, so much. Gina.
Amanda's back from the multiverse.
Amanda, welcome. Couldn't be more grateful for you being here. And please, what's your fun fact? Something that will make us go, Amanda, no way.
Good question. So my fun fact, and I say this because usually most people are surprised when I say this. I think it might be all of the smiles, but I have a black belt. I've been practicing for about 15 years. So
really congratulations on that. Black belt in what?
Ishiner.
Ooh, Ishiner. Is that
yes, it's from Okinawa in Japan.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations and thanks. And could you do like a spinning back kick and break something?
I can. Yes.
Ooh.
I normally don't.
Amanda, welcome to the party. And we may have actually broken boards and arrows over the weekend with our throats and all kinds of fun things as well. So breaking stuff is fully present with Amanda. Congratulations and welcome.
So Amanda, though, I have one important question. So sometimes Sean gets out of line, and so now that I know this, can you help me whip him back into shape when he gets out of line?
I mean, he's raising $2.6 million, so maybe it's okay if he gets a little out of line. I don't know.
And Amanda, I think out of line is whenever I don't say yes to Bella.
Oh, of course, obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
No, thank you, Amanda. Beautiful job.
Or you say I'm not right about something. You say I'm wrong because that's just.
I never say you're wrong, and I almost always say you're right. And when I don't say you're right or don't say yes, that could be what she's referring to, Amanda. So thank you so much for being here. Great job, Amanda, Liz. Welcome, Gina.
Next up from Woodbridge, New Jersey, he's a principal at Grassi CPAs, 8 years outsourcing accounting and CFO controller services, and is an active member of the New Jersey CPA organization. So please, association, please, everyone, let's welcome Peter Mosh to The Real Raw.
Peter, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. And where are you in Woodbridge? Where are you located?
Woodridge. Let me.
Woodbridge. Sorry, my bad.
The Blue Devils.
Yes, that is correct. Living in Woodridge for the moment. Going to be probably on the move in a few weeks.
Neighboring town to the Hasbrook Heights Aviators, near
Yes.
the Beckton Wildcats in Carlstadt, etc. So, welcome to the party, my friend. And what is your fun fact?
My fun fact was that I started my first company when I was 13 years old. In 8th grade, I was a DJ, held that company for about 8 years. Yeah. So right through my college years, essentially, and then let it wane out. So.
Well, beautiful, and welcome to the party, brother. Appreciate that. Do you miss your DJ days?
I always revisit them in the car rides, so I don't feel too bad.
What's your favorite, and I know it's probably a tough song, your favorite song, if you had to pick one, or one of your top songs from your DJ days?
I can't even. I have to say Mondelez gives me the chills still every time I hear it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, welcome to the party, brother, and we're going to have some fun.
Glad to be here.
Gina Woodridge is in the house. They were a rival of ours in high school back in the day. Who else is here?
Going to Westchester, New York. President of Multivision Digital, a digital marketing agency providing the full spectrum for lawyers and accountants. Multivision Digital has worked with firms like Lowenstein, Sandler, Burnton, LLP, Friedman, Aiken, Sherman Sterling, many more. And clients range from solopreneurs to global Fortune 500. Let's all please welcome Robert Weiss to The Real Raw.
Robert, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
Hello. And what is your fun fact, sir?
Fun fact. I don't know if it's fun, but climbed Kilimanjaro. That's my little plaque right there with my 14-year-old son. He was 14 years old at the time. Mm-hmm. So pre-pandemic, we went up. Something I always wanted to do for many years, and it was time to do it. And we did it.
Beautiful. And your 14-year-old son did it to the top?
Yep.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Both. I mean, we've been hiking for since they were kids.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
How did your feet fare? Like I've heard, I've read a bunch on climbing. I do some adventurous things myself. How did your feet? What was the deal?
Everything was fine. It was the climb to the summit. The last day was probably one of the most brutal things I've ever done.
Really?
But other than that, it was just a combination of like lots of long hikes as you went up and acclimated.
And was that sort of oxygen exhaustion or feet pain? Like what was the biggest challenge?
It was no, it wasn't feet pain because I had great boots.
Awesome.
Invested in those boots and gear, had to do that.
So
but it was just tough. It was a combination, mostly like altitude, just 4,000 feet in 7 hours going up like that. It's tough.
That is absolutely extraordinary. Have you ever read the book Travels by Michael Crichton that wrote Jurassic Park?
That's actually the reason why I'm not going to say how long, but 20 plus years, wanted to do Kilimanjaro because of that book.
Fist bump. Fist bump, brother. So whenever I hear Kilimanjaro, I think of Michael Crichton and Travels.
Yep.
Super cool. Well, welcome to the party and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Gina.
Next up, joining us from East Brunswick, getting ready to move to Cedar Grove apparently next week. This man, Sean, is vice president and committee member of the Diverse Attorneys of Seton Hall, your alma mater.
Whoa.
He is also the South Asian Bar Association, in the South Asian Bar Association of New Jersey. He is high stakes insurance recovery, litigation, and counseling, and is an associate at Cohen Ziffer. Please, everyone, let's welcome Jason Sumbaly to The Real Raw.
Jason, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for the work that you do from one Seton Hall alum to another, and I happen to be blind. So that is an interesting diversity inclusion intersection. I do a lot of diversity inclusion speaking myself. So thank you for the work that you're doing out there in the world.
Right back at you. I think you're doing it a little better than I am, but We'll see what I can pick up today.
I know about that, my friend. And what's your fun fact?
I don't find it fun, but I think other people do. So my parents moved here from India in the 1980s, and they named me after Jason Priestley from Beverly Hills 90210 because my mom had a big crush on him.
That is extraordinary.
Yes.
And I will share some embarrassing information that I actually loved 90210, and I saw it from episode 1 and fairly religiously watched it, and even watched Melrose Place as well back in the day.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I love it.
Two
He
very
could be on
embarrassing-
this. He could be on this call, and I wouldn't recognize him. So
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, you missed nothing. So welcome to the party, and thank you for such a very fun fact, my friend.
Yes, Jason, thank you so much for that, because I did not have access to that information about Sean, and the teasing that will happen from this day forward because he watched 90210 and Melrose Place will be endless. So thank you, my friends.
Bella, if I could stand for Sean, we had like parties with guys and girls and like watching all those shows. So, it's not just Sean.
Yeah, but you're a girl. That's okay.
We had guys with us.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's continue.
Gina, thank you. So who else do we have?
Next, and last but certainly not least, and Anthony, he keeps going in and out of the multiverse. He's back again. I'm so glad. He's a financial advisor from Westchester, New York, Kingswood Wealth Advisors, Benchmark Investments, helping high net worth individuals with their wealth strategies. So please, let's all welcome Anthony Nardi to The Real Raw.
Woo! Come on, crowd. Anthony, welcome. There we go. Woo! I have to sometimes fire that crowd up, Anthony. What's your fun fact, my friend?
Fun fact, I'm getting married in November. Very excited about that. Thank you. And fun fact, most recently I found out that the best investment I ever made was when I was 12 years old. I asked my parents for a trading card that apparently turned out to be very rare and sought after. And I just found out it was the best investment I ever made. Apparently, I went up to my home, the childhood home I grew up in, and I found this trading card.
What trading card?
It's called Pokemon. It's a very rare card called a Charizard card, and so it paid off about 15 years later.
Beautiful, congratulations.
What's the value of this card?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually in the middle of the process of getting it valued. And funny enough, I saw it in the New York Post. I was at the deli, and I saw, what one of these things were going for, and it was a ridiculous amount of money. It was over 6 figures. And I said, I remember my father saying, it was like $100. So that return on investment is something I can't promise in my wealth strategies, but it was crazy to find this thing. And I said, I know I had that card at one point in time, but my mom probably threw it out or something when I shipped off to college. But luckily we found it, and that's a fun fact. And I'm in the process of getting it verified and all that stuff. So hopefully my dad didn't buy a bootleg one.
No, and by the way, congratulations. You're going in and out. So I think what I heard you say is that when anybody invests with you, you guarantee 100,000% return on their investment. Is that what I heard? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. So congratulations.
Thank you. That's some of the selective hearing my clients or prospects might have, but yes.
I understand that. Beautiful job, Anthony. Love you being here. Gina, peace out from the multiverse. By the way, rock stars chase her around the Jersey Shore. That is actually a true fun fact for Gina. We'll see you soon. Great job.
Telling everybody. All right, love you guys. Have fun.
They're coming.
Bye
Run
now.
So, Bella, who's going first?
Let's go with our friend Liz.
Liz, what we're doing here, and your super connectedness, is we're going from hello to yes with Bella. So when you're talking to a group of people, you have to go from hello to yes to raise 2.6 million. But in the first place, people have to understand who to book on stage and not. So I don't know, maybe you could book a stage today. Maybe you could talk to an ideal client. But we're not talking pitching, hooking, closing. We're talking about integrous influence. We're adding more value than we take. Liz, who would you like Bella to be, please?
How about if I go second?
Well,
Amanda, are you up for going first?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm happy to, but you guys keep going in and out, and I apologize. I think our neighborhood is on overload right now, so my internet connection's a little wonky, but I'm happy to try.
All right.
If I stay online.
This black belt is ready to go do the thing. You're coming through loud and clear for us, Amanda. Who would you like Bella to be?
That's a good question because I didn't hear the first part of that.
So what would how about you could be an ideal, she could be an ideal client of yours. She could be anything else. It's about going from hello to yes with Bella. So who would you like her to be?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, let's do marketing director from a
Bella,
large
you're
law
marketing
firm.
director of a law firm or something.
Hello, this is Bella.
And we're just, this is like role playing like a phone call?
Yep.
Yeah. I never do cold calls. This is a great question. I'll just do a conversation. I'll pretend like I'm meeting you in person.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. So,
hi, Amanda. Great to see you again.
Hey, nice to see you. Have you been to any of the legal marketing events lately?
I have not actually. I joined ALA, the Legal Administrative Association, but I've looked at the LMA stuff, but I haven't actually been to an event yet.
Oh, well, I can send you the upcoming events that are coming. And if there's anyone that you want to meet, I know there's a bunch of board positions that are open too. So I'm happy to intro you if there's anyone that you want to meet. I know there's a couple of people on the board that you should definitely talk to. I don't know what kind of position you have now or what you're looking for next, but it's always good to make connections. So definitely can introduce you.
Yeah, I mean, I am the, they call me the chief alchemist because I make magic happen in the business development for our law firm. And, we're in charge of, booking Sean to speak and all of the marketing, that goes along with our law firm or CLE accredited. And so I'm just basically responsible for everything with the law firm. And I'm fairly new at it, Amanda. I've been in business development for a very long time, but business development in the legal field is completely new to me.
Totally get that. It's very different, but you're used to the networking and the connection. So if it makes sense, I'm happy to send you an invite too. We have a monthly roundtable.
I don't really know that much about it. Can you tell me about it? Like what is it? What's the foundation? Because I don't really, I've seen LMA, but I don't really know what it's all about.
Yeah, so it's just an association of legal marketers. So it's really nice. You basically get the most welcoming group of people that are always there for a resource. Like you said, you kind of don't really know what it's specifically for law firms. If you have a question, you send an email out, you have a whole network of people you can tap into for that. And they host events and, educational events and things like that, but it's really for the network.
Oh, very nice. That sounds, and are there any requirements for joining or what is that? Like, how many members do you guys have?
Yeah, it's literally you just be a legal marketer and then you pay for membership. So that's a pretty low bar just to be involved in the industry. But yeah, they have a ton of events and tons of members, and they're also regional. So depending on where you're located, they have virtual events. Like let's say you didn't want to come into the city or you don't want to drive down to Philly. There's events everywhere and for every different level too. So as you get more advanced and you're like, I've been seeing this topic a bunch of times, I already know about this, they'll have more advanced topics that you can sit in on too.
Got it. Well, that definitely sounds interesting. Can I check out an event before I join?
Yeah, if you want, I'm happy to invite you as my guest to the next one. So you can come with me and I can make some introductions. Then you can see if it feels like a right fit for you.
That would be amazing. I would love to do that, Amanda. Thank you so much.
Amanda, thank you. Great job. We'll see what the judges have to say in a moment. And Liz, are you ready?
I am.
Okay. So who would you like Bella to be, please, Liz?
I would say, can we say a law firm in the state of New Jersey?
Yeah, and what is her position? Bella?
Marketing.
Nice. Go ahead, Belle.
Hello, this is Bella.
Oh, hi, Bella. Liz Dwyer from ROI. How are you?
I'm excellent, Liz. How about yourself?
Doing well, thanks. Do you have a minute to speak?
I do. Thank you. Yes, I have about 2.5 minutes.
Okay. So Bella, I was connected with you and I wanted to reach out regarding ROI. I don't know if you're familiar with our media company.
I am not.
Okay, all right. So where are your headquarters located? Are they in New Jersey?
Yes, Paramus, New Jersey.
Okay. And if you were to say the type of industries that you're most involved in, as far as the industries for practicing law, is it healthcare or is it real estate?
We primarily business litigation and then medical revenue recovery. Those are our top two industries. Yeah.
Okay. And how many? What's the size of the firm?
We have about 125 employees.
Okay. And if you were to say the type of businesses that you're most interested in reaching, the size, are they middle market or are they like hospitals? What size? Like, let's say in the healthcare recovery, for instance, are they individual doctor's offices or are they huge hospital associations? Or
I would say probably bigger hospitals or offices that have multiple offices, spinal care centers, things like that have multiple offices are most ideal.
Okay. What I'd love to do is maybe send you an email and give you a link so you could become a free subscriber of our print and our digital products. So ROI is a business news media company, and we report on what's going on in business, specifically in the state of New Jersey. So there always has to be a New Jersey slant to it. We promote people hopefully working, raising their families, and sending their kids to school and having that generation be part of the New Jersey economy. So that's what we're all about. I'd also like to find out, I did hear that there's someone at your firm that is very notable. And I'd love to be able to connect you with our editor, just to see if there's the opportunity to maybe get an interview going.
Yeah, that would be great. I think you're speaking of Sean Callaghy, and he is only one of two attorneys that won a top 100 national jury verdict between 2014 and 2016. And he's the only one that is blind. Both cases had a $0 offer, and both settled for 27 and 33 million. So I think if you find that news article worthy, we would definitely love to have an article.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Liz.
Hey, Liz, great work. How'd that feel for you?
Okay. I mean, I'm actually used to not either being in person, or I don't do a lot of Zoom, to be honest with you. So it's either in person or on the phone. So I was just a little rusty, I would say, but it felt fine.
Well, you did a great job. Great job.
Amanda was a great job. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Yes. So judges, everyone, we're going to give 30 seconds of feedback to Liz and Amanda. Something that they did really great, maybe something that they could optimize, and then a score of 1 to 10. 1 being you would rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation. 5 is if they bought you a cup of Starbucks, you'd probably meet them at Starbucks. And 10 being you would rent a private jet and fly anywhere in the world just to have a longer conversation. So Anthony, let's start with you. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Liz? Oh, we can't hear you. I see that you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. So I'm going to come back to you, Anthony. Let's go. Jason, your 30 seconds of feedback for Amanda.
Amanda, I thought you had a very friendly approach, and I really appreciated that. It felt as if you genuinely wanted to connect with Bella, and made yourself available and told her a lot about your organization and about upcoming events, and answered her questions. So I just thought it was very friendly and overall very good. But I don't know how much critique is acceptable, but I thought she was baiting you on inviting her to an event, and then she had to end up asking you. So maybe sometimes when clients are like, kind of asking for it without explicitly saying it, that's something to pick up on.
And your score for Amanda, Jason?
I would give it a 7.
A 7. Awesome. Let's go with Peter. Peter, how about 30 seconds of feedback for Liz?
Liz thought it was very good. I mean, listen, you were qualifying, right? A lot of it started off with you asking questions. Obviously it's role play, so we don't know, you're trying to figure it out all at the same time, to lay all the information out there for her. I think a lot of it comes down to being able to connect more on a personal level as well. And then going in for that close, obviously you want to connect for a meeting. I loved it. I thought it was really good towards the end, but some of it got lost with the questions. So I think, if it wasn't in a role play situation, I think it would have probably been a little bit more, you would have known some of that information right up front. That's why you were connecting with her. But I overall give it a 6 to continue that conversation.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Peter. And Robert, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Amanda?
I'm going to try not to repeat some of what Jason said, but I felt that you were kind of what Peter said, like on a real call, you might not get somebody that friendly. And I think that I wasn't sure what the actual objective for Amanda was on the call. Like for me, if somebody was asking all those questions, I would have found a way to set a meeting up to give them more information because they seemed interested, they were asking more questions than just responding to. Like with Liz's call, you were responding to, but you were asking questions. So therefore, okay, how do I, if I'm making a call, my objective is to get them to the next meeting. That's the objective of the call. And that's kind of what I felt that was missing.
Beautiful. And your score for Amanda is?
7.
Awesome. And Anthony, can we hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Sir. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Liz?
I was in and out during the call, so I didn't get the full package, but I thought that she was, seeing if she was a qualified candidate very well. And that's the most that I can say on it because I didn't really hear the whole thing. I apologize.
No worries. So thank you very much for that, Anthony. And now with Liz and Amanda did something special, unique, courageous, put themselves out there a little bit. And what Bella makes me do every day is now she puts me on that same hot seat. And her game is to make me feel unsettled, uncertain, uncomfortable, and have to go from hello to yes on any scenario that somebody sets up here. So Bella, how are we going to give the option to somebody, which of course they can assign to somebody else, but who we're going with?
So I think, Sean, since you cannot see the screen, how about you choose a number between 1 and 6?
I am going to go with the number 1.
The number 1, that would be Robert. So Robert, you get to set a scenario. So you can set the scenario or you can assign it to somebody else. It can be number 1, anything that you choose. Number 2, you could, Sean would have to be Amanda and convincing someone on why they should join LMA, I think is it, LMA, convincing someone why they would join LMA. Or 3 is he would have to go from hello to yes on something that has to do with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's a hot topic right now. And so something that has to do with Bitcoin. So Robert, or anything that you choose, maybe it's going from hello to yes on climbing Mount Kilimanjaro with a blind man.
Okay, here's something crazy. So
okay,
having somebody that doesn't like rock music at all, convincing them to go to Smashing Pumpkins concert.
That is fun. Okay, and Robert, would you like that person to be you, or you want to pick somebody else here to be the...
That is a 52-year-old woman who loves opera.
Amazing. Okay, so...
To be exact.
so who do we want to be that?
Oh, I pick somebody here?
It could be you, or you could have one of the other folks see if they would jump in as that 52-year-old...
Sure, I'm going to go with Peter.
All right, Peter, would you be a 52-year-old person who only likes opera and not rock?
All right, I'll do it.
Let's go.
All right, let's do things. So, hey, Peter, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Hey, so really appreciate you having been on the Real Raw, and I know that you had mentioned that you don't like rock. You're a complete opera fan, but I would love to have a quick conversation to see if any resonance exists to have a longer conversation. How would that feel for you?
I'm open to it.
Thank you. So, Peter, what's life about for you? I know we met briefly, had a presence to your brilliance, your wit. What's life about? Like, what's the mission, vision, purpose of Peter's life?
Well, as the 52-year-old woman that I am right now, I'd say, just relaxation is something I'd love on the weekends, listening to some opera. I really do think that, my career takes a huge standpoint with where I am right now. And I, generally like to spend some time with, friends and family. So it's career and family.
Beautiful. And your career, remind me, what is that you're doing in the world right now?
Financial instruments. I work primarily with Bitcoin.
Beautiful. And so what are you doing in the Bitcoin space, and why? Like, if you win the game of your career, your legacy in Bitcoin and financial, what does that winning look like?
Everyone I know opening a wallet and allowing us to invest in it at our firm.
Beautiful. Okay, so you're looking for clients that are interested in investing in Bitcoin. Is that
absolutely?
All right, and Wisdom. Okay, cool. And can I ask this? Why? Like, what do you see in Bitcoin? How does that fit with your life's purpose?
It is the vehicle of the future for how money will move. Not only money, but also commodities. And this is something that can help the world have a much more clear understanding of where things are going.
Beautiful. And quick final. Are you truly committed to that outcome? Are you really looking to accelerate massively and getting that message out to people? Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's a total commitment.
Beautiful. Would it be okay for me to just share a couple thoughts real quick before we pause?
Absolutely.
Okay. And this is just a proposed thought. Again, my name is Sean Callaghy, and my greatest skill set in the world is the ability to cause people's influence to rise exponentially. A lot of people talk about this, and I don't mean sales training. I mean, and I don't mean being an influencer. I mean being a person of influence. And for 25 years, I've studied how to make all this work in every conceivable way. I had the privilege of raising $2.6 million in a room this past weekend, and it was not a wealthy room, and it was not a fundraiser. With 350 people in the room, I had no idea that this opportunity was going to come by. And in fact, the people who asked me to come speak on the concept of influence said, hey, wow, and if we could raise $200,000, that would be unbelievable. And we raised $2.6 million. I've been in a room for Tony Robbins' birthday where they asked me, his brother-in-law, to be on the microphone and to raise money to end sex trafficking. They were hoping to raise $500,000. We raised $1.7 million. These concepts also work integriously, again, in the space of having had the privilege of being one of only 2 attorneys in America to have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 16. 2 people were in the top 100 twice, and me and a guy from California, and I was the only one that was blind. I built club baseball teams where the most ego-driven, parents and complications are there. I have a 125-person law firm where I generate all the business through the relationship capital I create and all the speaking that I do. So why is all this relevant to you? Because you have a mission, a passion to change people's perspective. Many more people. I mean, there's certainly a little bit of Bitcoin excitement that exists in the world, but there's far more people who are much more concerned about crypto and all of the places it's heading. And if you're interested in having this conversation, I love to do shared experiences with people. I believe that all business is built on relationship, all relationship built on shared experience. And I have a ton of people in my unblinded ecosystem, and we're actually going to a Smashing Pumpkins session. And one of the criteria that I hold very near and dear to my heart, Pietra, is that people are open. I'm very open to lots of different things. I love that you love opera. I know rock's not your thing, but if you would join us at this Smashing Pumpkins concert, I would love to introduce you to a whole bunch of people in the unblinded ecosystem. In addition, I'd be very happy to do a session before we even go on how I'm clear that you could amplify not only your message, but where to place it to create some exponential acceleration. I know it's a lot to digest. If you'd like to have a longer conversation about it, I'd be happy to. If any of that resonates, if not, I totally understand. How does that resonate for you or not, Pietra?
That feels pretty good. It sounds like I'm going to be accomplishing some of my tasks, as to expand the crypto world, and maybe have opportunities for other people to understand cryptocurrencies a little bit better. Sean, in regards to maybe opening up my networks as well, would you be open to going to an opera concert with me?
If you, Pietra, if you would come to the Smashing Pumpkins, I would be thrilled to go to opera. And a fun fact, I've never been to the opera in my life, and I would be very thankful to broaden my horizons as well.
Well, then this is something I look forward to. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and we'll set it up. At a roll, Peter, thank you. That was super cool and fun. How did that feel for you?
Felt pretty good. Actually, I do enjoy how you really brought away the, you gave a purpose to Smashing Pumpkins. It had nothing to do with the concert, actually. It was more about the value add that's going to come from the meeting. It has little to do with the music and the experience, and more about the people who are going to be there. So it was very relevant within your proposal.
Yeah, and brother, this past weekend in raising $2.6 million, it certainly was connected to a legitimately phenomenal cause, the Ukraine. But everything we built around why people invested $2.6 million in this charitable contribution was also because of beautiful access they got to people, places, and things. And that's how we did it, very integriously. And we even trained for 3 hours on how to do it as we did it. So I always believe that integrity is adding more value than you take and being completely transparent. And thanks for stepping into that role and doing the things. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Amanda, from a black belt, how did that feel for you?
That felt great. I mean, I pretty much have the same feedback as Pete, that it felt good because you didn't really try to convince him why the Smashing Pumpkins were the greatest band that ever lived, which probably wouldn't have been that well received. So it was kind of a nice segue to get there. And then I also like how you added the kind of extra piece to like make him feel more comfortable. Like, I'm happy to take some more time and meet with you prior. You offered up more of your time to, talk through it a little bit further instead of like a hard sell that had to happen right then and there.
Well, thank you. Beautiful job. And by the way, thanks for jumping in courageously into the participant seat. Thanks for the share. And for real, present to mastery. And what we mean by that is anybody that becomes a black belt or achieves something from a long-term dynamic of study and investment, that's something that resonates deeply with us here. So congratulations on your commitment to mastering your life. And how was your time in the real world today?
Thank you. Yeah, this was excellent. There was a lot of good feedback. Some things that I kind of knew about my sales, how I approach things, but it was good feedback and kind of some takeaways that I'll put into place pretty much tomorrow. So it's great.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Amanda. Great job. Liz, super connectedness, present in full. By the way, we are very present to the tipping point by Malcolm Gladwell and the relevance of mavens, super connectors, and salespeople like yourself. So thanks for being here. How was your time with us on the Real Raw?
Great. I like the feedback that I got, and I too will be implementing some of that. And I really liked your presentation, and I think that I agree with everything that Amanda said. I think that you really have a way of showing the integrity, I guess, that it's just not about making that call or getting somebody. You definitely showed Pietra that there was something in it for both of you, and you wanted to continue the conversation. So,
well, thank you for that. Appreciate that very, very much, and thanks for the courage and vulnerability of stepping into the participant seat. So thank you very much, Liz. Bella, why don't we see what the judges have to say?
Let's see what the judges have to say. Let's start with Anthony. How was your experience today on the Real Raw?
I thought it was very nice that we can, come together originally as strangers and learn a little bit about each other and see how we could potentially, fit together to do something meaningful. And I really enjoyed the way Sean put that into perspective, where something that originally the person he was speaking to would have never considered, but opened the opportunity to be open-minded, because originally, you may just start off by saying, hey, I got these free Smashing Pumpkins tickets. You're going to be closed-minded, but you put it in a way where, you know what, let's be open-minded here. Let's, give it a shot. So I liked the whole interaction, and I liked hearing everybody's story.
Beautiful.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much, Anthony, for being here and all of it. And how about go, Belle, to Robert, who set that scenario. Thank you.
I was going to end with Robert. You turn it over to me and then you take it back. I thought I was the boss.
Yes, you're the boss. So go ahead.
Okay, because I'm going to go Jason, and then I'm going to end with Robert.
Thank you.
Since it was like his scenario. Is that all right with you?
That is absolutely fine. That's like,
Amanda, do you see why I need some help here?
Because if we went that way, yeah, Amanda, if we went that way, it would have destroyed the entire show. So thank you,
Right.
Belle. Please, yes.
Jason, how
Yes.
was your time today on the Real Raw?
My time was great. I really enjoyed listening to all three participants, including Sean. I worry that Robert's partner may not be convinced by the pitch that was given, but hopefully, that takeaway that it's not about the concert, it's about some other bigger purpose. Maybe you can tie that in and convince your partner to come with you.
Thank you for that, Jason. Yeah, it's always about the value. You got to understand what is of value to the other person to get the yes. So thank you for that, Jason. And Robert, last but certainly not least, what did you think of the scenario, and how was your time today on the Real Raw?
So I didn't know what to expect coming into this. So I go into these new endeavors to say yes and see what happens, no expectations. But there's definitely been some aha moments, and for me to take back and to kind of understand like how I approach people, and to see kind of when and where to use those like little tactics to put in. So yeah, it's good.
Robert, Anthony, Jason, Peter, thank you so much for being here. Amanda, Liz, wonderful job. By the way, we're doing an event called Legally Unblinded for folks in and around the legal industry on Wednesday at our offices in Paramus. You guys are all welcome. You're certainly welcome as well on a virtual. The space that we teach and what we do here, I'll just put a flag on the ground, does not exist in the world. And that's a bold statement. And I say this with great humility, but zero false modesty. 25 years of work and research. We've disrupted some of the most powerful jury verdict consulting processes. We broke sales records on Tony Robbins' stage, which I've spoken there 15 times. They 38 years into their journey as being one of the most evolved sales processes from stage in the world. We created massive disruptions that dramatically increased sales. The top jury verdicts, as we've shared, the building of a 125-person law firm. All of this is not because of a unique innate skill set. It's because of the science of how human beings connect integrously and cause yes. And that is our work in the world. So Bella, any final?
Final is, I do want to add, because there is a formula, right? For everything that Sean did in going from hello to yes to raise $2.6 million over the weekend. He did a phenomenal job at teaching this at Chris Krohn's stage, and he's going to be doing it again on Wednesday. What are the 4 steps, the 4 energies, and the 12 indispensable elements to have someone understand their value in your yes? And so I would definitely, if I were anybody here, I would be there on Wednesday. I will be there virtually since I'm here in Texas. But I highly recommend coming to that, because the superpower of influence is really about the integrous yes and making a difference in the world. So, and you get to all connect with each other. So I definitely would come back on Monday, because Tony Robbins said, whether you like him or not, or even know who he is, Tony Robbins said in front of a room full of people that there is no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. And if you don't know what he's up to, you want to. So if I were you, I would take Tony Robbins' advice and come see what he's up to.
Thank you. But if and only if, straight up, if and only if people are looking to accelerate what they're growing. So this is a space for people who are looking to grow and looking to accelerate their firms, their businesses related to getting yeses, and how to do it integrously and exponentially so it feels great in the space. And that's our work in the world as a Trojan horse, really, for how we come together to solve truly big problems, like some of the things happening in the humanitarian crisis in Europe right now. And that 2.6 million doesn't happen unless, first of all, the room is filled, and second of all, how we assemble that room to do great things. So really appreciate you guys being here. Again, Amanda, Liz, Robert, Anthony, Jason, and Peter, great job today. Bella, wonderful job. And I think the results are always right there in front of us. But while I may be physically blind, I do think at some level we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Really appreciate it. Great job. Thank you.